Hello guys and welcome back to Planet 40k. Warhammer Community have released yet another article in relation to 10th edition. This time we're looking at unlocking the armory. They're talking about some of the weapons, some of the new weapon abilities, where previously we had rapid fire, heavy, assault, that kind of stuff when we're talking about the weaponry. They still have those keywords in place, but there are some new keywords to look out for. So we're going to talk about that, and like we did in the previous video, we're going to kind of convert that to Necrons. It is a prediction, it is speculation, there is no information in terms of Necrons, but we're kind of putting 2 and 2 together here and trying to hopefully get 4. Also guys, don't forget there's still a giveaway ongoing, and as soon as we get to 10,000 subscribers, we will be doing our draw for that giveaway for this box set right here. So get involved in that. The link will probably be in the description or the top right of your screen now. Right, so let's get onto this article from the Warhammer community on the 14th of April. So it's unlocking the armory. So weapon rules are fun and flexible in the new Warhammer 40k. Right, let's talk about it. So first of all, let's get to something that's a bit relevant. So previously they were separated into categories heavy, rapid fire, assault and so on. In the new edition, these classifications have weapon abilities. So it then goes on to say some weapons can actually have 2 of these characteristics. So one, for example, have assault as well as heavy. If it is an assault weapon, you can advance with it and still fire. And heavy, if you just stay stationary, you get a +1 to your hit roll. Now so far this is just related to this bolt rifle, which you can see in the image here. Now of course the bolt rifle is quite comparable to our Gorse Flayer. They are also strength 4, they are also -1 AP and 1 damage. Now in fact the bolt rifles have kept their AP here, it's -1 AP in the new edition. We don't know if the Gorse Flayers for Necron Warriors in 10th edition is going to keep that AP, but what I wanted to really get into is this part right here. So the core rules now include a variety of other weapon abilities which tie together similar effects found across factions. Weapons that shred through armor on lucky rolls can now share the devastating wounds ability instead. This allows them to dish out mortal wounds on a critical wound. That's an unmodified wound roll of a 6. So they already previously told us what a critical hit is. Now they're talking about a critical wound. So if you wound on a 6, you're going to be dishing out mortal wounds. It then goes on to show something which is the part that I'm going to kind of compare for this video. So they're going to be showing a Terminator, Space Marine Terminator, with an assault cannon. Now in 9th edition, this is a heavy weapon. Strength 6, it was -1 AP and it was just 1 damage. Now it doesn't appear to have the heavy weapon anymore, but it's got this new devastating wounds ability. So any unmodified wound rolls of a 6 will inflict a mortal wound. That's going to be pretty good. I mean, each one of these has 6 shots. Now, why this is comparable to Necrons? Well, I'm looking at the heavy stuff really. I'm looking at heavy infantry weapons, and one of them in particular is from, say, the Locust Destroyers. The Locust Destroyers have got the Gorse Cannons, so they are heavy 3, strength 6, -3 AP and D3 damage at this current time of 9th edition. And these Space Marine Terminators are getting the critical wounds ability associated with these weapons. So again, it's a prediction here, so it's purely speculation. I think the Locust Destroyers are going to get this ability, the devastating wounds ability. Now potentially we could even see some of our heavy vehicles, such as the Annihilation Barge. Maybe that's going to make a return. Maybe the twin Tesla Destructor, which is heavy 10, strength 7, no AP 1 damage. Maybe that weapon gets this new ability, devastating wounds, or maybe they're going to give it that sustained hits ability with exploding 6s. It's more likely going to be that if it's Tesla, but they do also carry Gorse Cannons as well if you've selected them. Other units could also be the Locust Heavy Destroyers, with not the Gorse Destructors, the other weapon, the Exterminator weapon that no one really took. They were heavy weapons. They were strength 7, -1 AP, 1 damage. Potentially they get this devastating wounds ability attached to that weapon, which could make them usable. I mean, again, we don't know enough. We haven't really play tested anything, but that could make them very feasible. But yeah, they're the 3 units that I wanted to talk about today. The Locust Destroyers, the Locust Heavy Destroyers, and the Annihilation Barge. I mean, you could throw in the Night Scythe there, I guess, as well, but I've got a feeling the Tesla weapons are going to get the sustained hits ability, like I mentioned already. But this could mean, in 10th edition, Locust Destroyers, maybe you start taking them in max units of 6, then having 1 extra one of the heavy weapons with the Exterminator weapon rather than the Destructor weapon. And with these mortal wounds on the 6 with a lot of shots, don't forget, each one of those has D3 shots at this moment in time. Now further down the article, they go on to talk about some other weapons They go on to mention a melter rifle, which are now strength 9, minus 4 AP, so they kept their AP, which is pretty big. D6 plus 2 if you're within half range, so it's just D6 as standard. And it is a heavy weapon, so if it does remain stationary, it's going to get a +1 to its hits rolls. Now, what's comparable for the Necrons in terms of the melter weapons? There's not really much. I mean, the Triarch's Toga has the heat ray, perhaps that will be comparable, but nothing really of note. Then they go on to some Eldari units with the Shuriken cannons, which are probably where our Tesla weapons are going to go, I think. Now, the final part of the article is about Twin Link. So Twin Link now is a reroll to your wound roll. If you've got the Twin Linked ability to your weapon, reroll the wound roll, pretty good. Again, going back to that Annihilation Barge, which had the Twin Tesla Destructor, does that mean they're going to potentially reroll their wound rolls? Who knows? So yeah, that's a small update today from the Warhammer community webpage, from that article. Again, they're not really mentioning Necrons, but again, we're just using our heads and kind of putting 2 and 2 together. So guys, in fact, let me know in the comments down below. I'll be quite interested in what you think. What weapons are going to get what? I mean, we could go through every single unit, but that would take quite a while. And yeah, when we're in this predicting stage, it's not really worth going through everything. But let me know down in the comments below if you think some unit's going to get certain abilities for 10th edition. So guys, that is it from me today. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.